Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley Kunz and you are watching Abstract Painting with Ashley Kunz. In this video I'm going to create the painting you saw in the beginning there. So starting off I am doing acrylic paint, and this is a light blue color, and I'm just laying it down on the canvas wherever I feel like it fits nice, and I'm applying it with a brush at this point. And then I start to blend in some white just to kind of fade that blue out into the very white background. And prior to filming, I painted the whole background white, even though it already had gesso on it. I just painted it again so that it was all the same color of white. Here in this frame, you can see that I'm taking a very thin paintbrush and some very thin paint and just kind of drawing some little shapes on there, very abstract, doing some fun little lines that are very free flowing. Then I pulled out my favorite Posca pen, and this is the acrylic paint markers from Posca. And then this is the Montana Marble Effect spray paint. You can see there it kind of just splatters on the canvas and creates a really organic texture and like color contrast when you spray it over something else of a different color. And I did it with a couple different colors. So now I am mixing up some paint, and here's where I really start building from the center of the canvas and the background out. So I'm starting with this black, and once I got this color on there, I felt like it was a lot. So I did end up fading it out quite a bit, and you will see that in just a few minutes. I'm going to stop talking during this part and just let the video play, and I'll be back on when there's something I need to tell you. Me again. Now I'm taking white paint and I am blending that black out. And now I'm using a damp paper towel with a little bit of white paint on it and just kind of blending that out and softening it a bit. I'm adding in more white, again, blending it out some more, making it feel like it's a part of the painting and not just something that's sitting on top of it. And then of course we're going to do the same thing over on this side, and I'm actually using that paper towel kind of as a paintbrush or a marker and spreading that around and just getting some different shapes kind of going off of that darkness there. Next I am taking some gold leaf adhesive or metal leaf adhesive and putting that on the canvas. I'm going to do some big patches of copper leafing on there, and I think it's going to look really good. So just making sure to get enough of the glue on, and then in a moment I'm going to start sticking on the leaf. Now these I just buy off of Amazon. They are very inexpensive to buy them in big quantities. If you're looking for the real gold ones, those cost a lot more, but the copper ones, you can buy those for pennies per sheet. So it's really affordable. And it just adds so much to your artwork. And I buy the metal leaf that each sheet is separated by that wax paper. It makes it really easy for me to move with the metal leafing because it's so light and airy, like your breath will make it float away. So that wax paper sheet that's in between each piece of the metal leaf is really, really helpful and makes the job easier. Plus you can kind of smooth it out without tearing it. As you can see, I'm doing that right now. I'm rubbing my fingers on it to make sure it's sticking really well to the canvas. If I were to do that without that transfer sheet on there, I'd be tearing it. It would be flying everywhere. It would be a mess. Now it's my favorite part, using a stiff brush. I usually just use one that's been kind of let paint dry on it, and you just brush all the excess metal leaf away. And it all kind of just floats in the air for a little while. I have before like ran a vacuum and tried to suck it up as I was doing that, and still I ended up with metal leaf all over my house. So don't do that, wouldn't recommend. But now I am using a giant stencil and some acrylic spray paint and just adding some little dots and some fun little things that catch your eye in it. And shaking it up. I really like these Liquitex spray paints because they are super low odor. I try not to use them too much in the house, and I usually would use a respirator. I don't know why I didn't in this video, so wear a respirator, folks. Like, it's not worth it. And yeah, I was clearly lazy. Also, a part of this video that I cut out, that headband thing that I'm wearing, bandana, whatever, when I put it on and was wearing it in painting, a spider kind of fell in front of my face on its little string and was dangling between my eyes, and I almost had a heart attack. I do not like spiders that close to my face. So, a minute ago you saw me put some yellow paint on there and smear it around with my hands. I do that a lot, and a lot of times I will wear gloves when I'm doing it. I am here in this video. Okay, I do see that. Now I'm adding some more darkness because I blended out the darkness a little too much, and I like to overlap some of that copper. I'm making some fun squiggly lines. I'm really liking this composition so far, though. Hope you guys don't just mind me rambling through part of the video. It's really hard to like sit back and watch, and this is a 10-minute video, and I don't know if you guys like silence, but I don't, so yeah. And now I'm just smearing stuff around with my hands again. I do this a lot. I like the way it looks. Just FYI, finger painting is fun no matter what age. I don't care what anybody says. It's fun to get messy and just be free and have fun. Next, I busted out the palette knife, and I'm adding some layers on top of that yellow. I don't want it to be too blended out. I want some very well-defined bits of yellow on there. Then I'm taking a brush and I'm blending some of the edges to soften them a bit, because what I just did I wasn't totally thrilled with, I guess. It's kind of funny to go back and watch like the process of making paintings and see how much I end up like covering up throughout the process because something just didn't look right or work right or whatever. Oh, now I'm adding some white, blending that, and I'm using a wet on wet technique. So I didn't let the darker yellow dry before adding the white and the lighter yellow on top. And again, I just want this to be really loose and unstructured. So sometimes I just close my eyes and I blend with my heart. And if you've made it this far in the video, like, thanks. I really appreciate you guys, and I think you're all awesome. And I don't know if you know this, but in addition to me being an artist, I also have a rock and mineral shop. It's called Whimsical World Gems, and you can find it on Etsy. If you just type in Whimsical World Gems Etsy, you'll find me. But yeah, I sell lots of high quality rocks and minerals, and they're really pretty. And if you guys like art, sometimes art people like crystals, and I got both. So lucky us. Now I took my trusty pizza cutter. I've been using that same pizza cutter for 12 years. And I run it through some watered down acrylic paint, some very thin paint, and then I just kind of dance it along the canvas. Just let it go wherever it feels like it needs to go. And I'm just doing a little bit more, adding a little more color. Looks like I'm using just like a paper towel and kind of smearing stuff. Oops, sorry for the weird angle. I know I just spun y'all around. Then I added this purple, and at first I really hated it and regretted my whole life, and like every choice I've ever made, but it did pull together in the end. So I am very happy that I added the purple, and hopefully you will be too. Once I started to like blend in other colors with it and, you know, make it less, I don't know, what is the word for that? Like if I just use the palette knife and put the paint on the canvas, it's kind of like elevated and it's crisp. The lines are crisp. but I like it when they're like softened. Yeah, that's a good way to explain it. I think you guys know what I mean, right? What kind of music are you guys listening to right now? I feel like I'm stuck in my teenage years and that's the only music I listen to, which I think is a pretty common thing. But is there anything current that, I don't know, you guys are listening to that's pretty cool? I like rock, pop, R&B, rap, like indie music. Yeah. And there's the finished product. This painting is listed on my Etsy shop. However, it is very large and will be a fortune to ship. So if you want it shipped and you're willing to pay, hit me up. It's Ashley Kunz Art on Etsy.